you're free to leave whenever you want, realistically, as long as you can find work somewhere else. So in that case, what's like the few things or the one major thing that's made you want to stay? Remind me, Emily, how long have you been out in Japan? Since 2019, right?
Since 2019.
Yeah.
So like 4-ish years. Okay. Like that.
And then David, how about you?
5 for you.
Do you feel like at that point you've kind of like finally felt like you've settled a little bit more into the day-to-day, like into the culture and stuff like that? Well, I mean, minus 2 years for COVID. just like slash 2 years out of that.
As someone who is a foreigner, obviously, I don't think that there is ever a period where you are truly integrated or settled, ever. And that's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Like, I think you can, buy a home, build a family, do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, there's still times where I've been here for 5 years. I'll walk down the street and I'll just see like the signs on a building. And I just have this like moment in my brain where I go, oh yeah, I'm in Japan. That's weird. And it happens all like, now not as much as it did before, but like there's just some days where I'm walking, I'm like, yeah, that's weird. Like nothing's in English, but I can read and like, it's just weird. And like, I don't think that feeling will ever go away, to be honest.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense.
I kind of feel similarly. Like just the other day I was walking down the street and I don't know, I was somewhere with someone, maybe, I don't know where I was, but I was just like, wow, isn't it crazy that we're here in Japan right now? Like you don't really get used to it. And then there's times when you're like, wow, I can't believe that I'm here and I'm doing this. But I think,
and you go, I've been here for 4 years. What the hell's wrong?
I know. Yeah. But I think COVID really interfered with that in a lot of ways. Like COVID happened for 2.5 years. It's still ongoing. We still wear masks and stuff everywhere. And that really, for me, was, difficult. Like now that we're kind of out of it more, I realize how kind of difficult it was because I got here and I had about 6 months of quote unquote normal Japan, and then everything shut down, everything stopped.
Right.
Life sort of stopped, and that was how it was for 2 years. And you make some kind of hard choices and weird choices, and you become friends with people that maybe you wouldn't normally have been friends with or whatever, and you kind of are forced into certain situations depending on your environment and your workplace and that kind of thing. And so now that we're kind of coming out of it, I am excited all over again to be here because it feels like a new, different side of Japan is kind of waking up that I'm experiencing,
Right.
When I go out into Shibuya and I see like tourists coming in, I'm like, whoa, this is weird. It is so weird to see other foreigners out and about. I was in Harajuku and someone asked me for directions to like a shopping department store. And I was like, lady, we're in Harajuku. Like, look around. It's everywhere, man. I don't know what to tell you. It was just really funny.
In that case, does that feel like it's kind of revitalized a little bit of excitement because like things are starting to open up again? And like, does that feel different now than just kind of, I guess, the shutdown, the Great Reset?
For me personally, I had like a good solid year where I just kind of could do whatever I want because I knew that I got my job offer like really early, like almost a year out from when I was going. So I just saved up money for an entire year.
Nice.
And when I got here that first year, I went wild.
Oh, yeah.
I had like
That's what I would probably do.
I had like $7,000 in cash. Just like, I remember I'm in this tiny ass like 1K room. So it's like my bed and my kitchen are in the same room. And I just had like this fat stack of cash of just like Ichimane bills on top of my dresser. And every time I went out, I'm like, I'll just take 2 of those and do whatever I want.
Wow.
I burned through like $7,000 in like half a year.
Dude.
Like, boom, like quickly.
I will say, when I visited out there, I had $4,000 for 25 days, and I used it.
Yeah, I
had
was
a great
gonna say
time.
that doesn't sound like enough to me, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's like you have to consider. Well, in this case, it was on vacation, so
Yeah,
I spent it was about 120
Yeah.
bucks a day. But that
Yeah.
was like, for traveling, for drink, food, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
sorry,
It goes.
For me, it was buying a nice, expensive rice maker.
Oh,
Like,
they're
Such
so
Rushi's nice.
expensive.
if you're gonna spend your money on something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it.
I'm like,
That's it.
$700 rice maker? Fuck
Oh,
Yeah, hell
700.
yeah.
Let's
Oh
do
god,
it.
like
Yeah.
the one I have downstairs
Yeah.
was like 250, and I was like, that's way too much, right? 700.
Rice. I can make bread in
Okay,
it.
that's
I can
extra.
do like a whole bunch of other
That's
Dude,
stuff.
that's
extra.
cool. That's super cool.
I know
Oh,
we've been.
man. I have
Yeah, it's great.
have an
This is
Instant Pot.
kind of like, it kind of sucks, right? We've been talking for quite a bit about like, oh my god, it's the trials and tribulations, right? And again, because I try to be, I feel like I'm a very optimistic person, right? All the time, like, which is sometimes to my detriment. There has to be good on the other side of all of that, right? Otherwise, you guys would just leave. So
Right.
you're free to leave whenever you want, realistically, as long as you can find work somewhere else. So in that case, what's like the few things or the one major thing that's made you want to stay? Right?
Well, you're right. I mean, there is a lot of. I know you get anyone
Or is it a
who
lot
lives
of the
in
little
Japan.
things too? It doesn't have to be like the one big thing.
I think it's a combination, but like get anyone into a room who lives in Japan together with other people who live in Japan, and they'll just complain. Like that's just like a thing. That's just a thing that we do. There is.
You know what sucks?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
But I
It's
agree.
true. It sucks ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like we just like to complain because there is a lot here that is difficult. It's just different, right, from the country that you're from originally. But there's so much good about living here. For me, though, I would say that the big thing that keeps me here, and this is like contentious amongst my family. They want me to move back to California really, really badly, and I feel horrible because I don't feel ready to move back yet. And the thing that's really keeping me here is like I have a really just good group of friends that I love being with and hanging out with. And so for me, it's that kind of community aspect. And these are people that I definitely would not have met if I had stayed in California. It's like a vibe and an ease that I have found with very few other friend groups in my life. I don't know. I have really good friends all around, but yeah, I just love the people that I hang out with. I love working with, I work on like projects with my friend Joe and stuff like that. And we just have such a good time together. And so for me, that's been something that's really, it kept me here is like the people that I've met for sure.
What do you got, David? How about you?
I think for me, I've always explained it, people like, oh, there's so many like bad things about Japan. I've always explained it like Japan is a place where it's death by 1,000 cuts, right? If you can get past all the tiny things that just poke at you every day, you'll be fine. But I think one of the things, and I agree with Emily, like one of the things is having that group of friends. I think what most people who leave, the reason that they leave is they don't have that community. They've come over on jet or something, been stuck in like Gifu or Gunma or wherever, and they're like the only foreigner there. And it's like, if you are not the type of person who is outgoing or wants to try and make friends or knows Japanese, you're going to have a real hard time. Like it's hard as an adult to make friends. It really is.
Yeah.
And now it's doubly as hard because they don't speak the same language as you. And they're also like maybe like, oh, weird foreigner, like, do I want to talk to them? Right? Like there's some apprehension there as well. And I think that is probably the same reason why I'm staying is just my friend group is why I want to be here. Like I have just a good set of friends that I would never have met. Like the day I came and we went to my original company's first meeting was the day I met those people. They're still friends with me. I mean, I run a podcast, Paul, you met Jordan, you know him, of course. I met him the first day I got here. We are still friends 5 years later.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Right? So
and it almost sounds like it's camaraderie, right? Like we're in this together kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But on the flip side, though, there are some foreigners who, like, I want no business with you at all.
Yeah.